Good evening, pre-calculus juniors. This is Mr. Lovelace, and this is our first video for this week. Our first week of, how shall we say, unusual situation at Cristo Rey. So I hope you guys are doing well. So this is our first video, just kind of want to get you started on this week and how we're going to proceed in the topic and everything in terms of our schedule and what's going to be happening. So have your book turned open to page 340. And we're just going to do a quick overview of what's coming up this week. So the topic, as you can see, is rational functions. Okay, so rational functions are, as you see here in the middle of the page, I apologize for a little bit of glare there, I'm trying to work on lighting as we go, is a ratio. It's a fraction. And the fraction is composed of two polynomials, which are indicated by this notation, p of x and q of x. P and q are polynomials. Q of x is not equal to 0, which is important, of course, because it's a fraction. And q of x can't be equal to 0 because we can't divide by 0. So the domain is an important thing to be thinking about. We've talked about that quite a bit. The domain is all the values of x that are available as inputs for our function. So if we look at this function composed here by two polynomials, the numerator, the polynomial is a quadratic expression. The denominator is a factored expression. If we multiply that all the way out, I think you could see that we would have an x to the third power after we multiply everything out. So this is really a polynomial, a rational function composed of a quadratic polynomial divided by a cubic polynomial. And if we're looking at the domain, primarily we're interested in what's going to happen down here in the denominator. So you'll see that for this function, this rational function, the domain is the set of all real numbers except for 0, 2, and -5, because those are the three values of x, which would make the denominator equal 0, which causes, of course, the function to be undefined. So down below, you're going to see a little preview of what's coming on the worksheet that I've asked you to work on this week. It says to find the domain of each rational function. I haven't specifically asked you to do that, but you can be thinking about it. So let's go ahead and look at that worksheet. And I want you to have nearby this packet of factoring polynomials to help you remember how to do some of these things I'm going to show you. And we're just going to look at problem number 1 as an illustration. And these are items here that we're going to get to eventually. All I've asked you to do in your schedule is to factor completely both the numerator and the denominator. So we're just going to rewrite each of these using the factoring techniques that we've learned. The first thing always is to try and look for a greatest common factor. So in this particular polynomial, the greatest common factor is -2. In the denominator, the greatest common factor is just 1. So we're going to go ahead and look at how we would factor that trinomial using our usual techniques. Some of you guys have learned different ways to do this. Okay, we would end up with this, and then we would go back to that numerator and go ahead and factor the numerator like this. And then after checking really carefully, we'd notice that that's as much as we can do to factor the numerator and the denominator. And that's all I'm asking you to do for problems 1 through 20 in this packet this week. So you will notice, probably already noticed, that there are two factors here that are common. And anytime you have a fraction with factors that are common in the numerator and denominator, you can cancel those out. We definitely will be doing that. And we'll talk about the consequence that has for the function itself. But for right now, this is all I'm asking you to do, is to practice your factoring with all of these problems 1 through 20. Use this packet to help you remember the different methods. The flowchart on the front is very helpful. And there are plenty of examples inside. So just looking ahead again, one more reminder of what's on our schedule. So today and tonight, I've asked you to go ahead and read through this section and then review the packet. You're now watching the video. There are lessons in Khan Academy. Quite a number of you still need to sign in, so make sure you go back and notice that email that I've sent you. If you're having issues, send me an email about that. And then here's this assignment for that packet, problems 1 through 20. On Wednesday, we will have our our class day. And just a note about this Google Meet issue. We're having some issues getting connectivity with that. And so I'm pretty sure I'm going to be switching over to Zoom instead of Google Meet. It's still a free app for you guys to connect to, but please look for a video from me tomorrow about how to do that. Make sure you've looked at the homework and the Khan Academy lessons in your book, have that ready. So looking forward to the end of the week. You'll have some time on Thursday to work on your work study as well. And then Friday, we'll have some office hours, your Khan Academy lessons that for now are due at the end of the day, and we can talk about extending that if needed. Make sure you're checking in on the Google group. You all should be signed in and posting your questions into the parking lot there. And once again, just guys, don't please hesitate to send me a note or a question if you're running into issues. We're all trying to figure out how to make this work the best. Good luck. Hope you guys are well, staying safe, and check in with me and let me know if you're having any issues as we get started on this week. All right? Take care. Talk to you soon.